This video I'm making for my my friends that help me all the time. I tried to understand the change up of tomatoes. So I'm going to see if I can simplistically try to understand something. Here's the main stem. That's a sucker. So I take it off. Here's the main stem, but then it goes off here. Okay, then this one came off and split also. So the main stem is down here. It goes up and becomes a side. Then this is a branch. This is a branch. That's a branch. And here's a sucker. So I get rid of that. Not a problem. But because I treated them 2 days ago after the hail, this little bundle came up. Now, if this is the main and this is the side branch, side branch, side branch, side branch, and this is a growing tip here, and there's the little flowers coming up, then over here it's doing the same thing. And they say, or at least the advice I got was kind of weird, because they say that suckers are additional other things, and to be careful to do certain things so that it doesn't waste the energy of the plant. So this almost seems like it's one plant and this one is another. So I know everyone says take the flowers off. You can see the hide on it. That's what it is. And obviously I need to cut down here below depending on what kind of tomato it is. And because we didn't know these, we don't know what they are. My mistake. This is one I treated, and through the hail, 2 days ago I treated them, and then this all happened, which was a little tip right in here. Now I know the plants are healthy. I can tell by the color. I can tell with the new growth. It was huge growth. I mean, almost overnight. I mean, I would have to say like a day and a half. These are different. This is a Cherokee Purple. So is this one. And a Cherokee Purple is a tomato heirloom, 72 to 90 days. Of course, I don't know about that because they gave them to me. And it is an indeterminate. And it's not, it doesn't have a determined amount of tomatoes. So I know that about these two. So then this happened to me, which is kind of interesting. This happened, which my tomatoes weren't doing that because of the excessive damage. So I treated them, whatever. We're beyond that now. Now I know the crotch area is here, and that's where you take the suckers out. But it's growing a whole new tomato, which I was told by the garden center, let it be. Let it be. And it looks like this would be considered a growing tip. I'm not sure. Same situation with this. This one's much taller. It survived the hail. I corrected it. This is the main stem. There are side shoots, which I have trouble understanding, like this one. Is that a sucker right there because it's in the crotch area? I'm assuming that is. It's just so like healthy-ish that I don't want to. There's so much advice. So in considering this plant, this is a sucker, or is this a branch? 1, 2, this is in the crotch. Is that a sucker right here? Is that, it's in the crotch, is that a sucker? Do I pull that? I'm assuming I do. And then there's flowers, which it's never had flowers before. Same thing with that little early girl who's drooping now because she's so hot. She grew a tomato. I left it there before the hail because I just wanted to see how it was going to work out. It did this side thing. Is that a branch or a side shoot, and what's the difference? And though people explain it to me, I'm so confused because this literally grew overnight. It was so fast that I didn't even understand it. This one is a vining, and I see what it's doing, but it doesn't have those shoots. And I can see that this is a branch, that's the crotch, this is a branch, this at the bottom is the trunk, the main stem, and it has these little things at the bottom, which probably have to go because of soil. So I don't want to prune them. I want to be careful. There's one of my plants that resurrected. Don't even ask me how that happened. Here's another one of mine that resurrected, and it grew this thing. Same issue, I guess. I understand they're different tomatoes, but I don't know which tomatoes mine are. Then it grew this little thing. Are those getting pruned, or do I leave them there? I know there's a difference between tomatoes, but they all shot out of that little, looks like a growing tip to me. And what does that mean for me? Do I take those off? Is that considered another sucker? What's the difference between a side shoot and a branch? Even though I've watched 100 videos, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I know that soil is 90% of, soil diseases are probably the worst in tomatoes. All these resurrected. They were extremely damaged. That one is mine, and it has never really truly come back. Not even a sucker has come in. The chard made it. Don't ask me how. The cabbage, thank God it made it. And then, of course, my chilies took a beating. Just depending on where the damage was, what happened, that's what's going on. This lettuce or cabbage took a beating. Chard took a beating. I don't know. It just came back. I treated it. It came back great. But those little clusters that are coming off of a branch, is that a growing tip? Do you take that off? With the early girls, I was told by the garden center to leave that tomato there. And it was root bound. I know that. When I took it out of the container, it's doubled in height. It seems a little early for it to be growing a tomato, but it's called an early girl for a reason. So there's all kinds of questions. I understand they're different tomatoes, but everybody says something different. What is the basic approach to understanding the branch, the side shoot, the flowers, the tomatoes? When do you make all those moves safely? Hope to God you guys can help me. I'm lost. Thanks.